Welcome, guys, to the MMOs.com podcast. Altai here with episode 154. A riveting journey through the world of MMOs awaits. I'm joined this week by
Omer, and here we are.
All right, here we go. Let's just jump right in with that weekly raid. How about that?
Before we jump to the weekly raid, let's do a little bit of. I got an email actually this morning, actually a couple hours ago, like literally an hour ago before we started streaming this podcast. The folks at Tryon Worlds, the folks behind Rift, were actually interested in coming on the MMOs.com podcast to talk to us. What do you think about that?
It's kind of nervous. I don't think did we ever actually have a guest on?
Any real guests, like with some authority? Not really. It was mostly just like friends and other buddies. But obviously they want to come on to talk about, like, they want to show their game, right? Obviously. But like we're gonna make sure they have to answer the hard questions, right? We're gonna be grilling them on pay to win. We're gonna be grilling them on uncomfortable things that I'm sure they don't want to talk about. But we can make it like
their connections to the North Korean regime. All right.
Yeah, we can draw some connections, but we can make it fun. We can make it like we can talk about the update to Rift that they want to talk about, obviously, and just maybe like try to get their, I guess a developer perspective at like MMOs in 2018 and MMORPGs in 2018, and like what players want and what they think they want, stuff like that. Maybe we get a cool inside look at it that way. Sure. But I'm gonna email them back and tell them that we'd have them on for a show. It could be pretty cool.
Do it like the whole show or like a segment?
It might be a set. I'll email back and we'll find out.
Okay, sounds cool.
All right, and with that, let's take us to the weekly raid. Today's actually a really interesting one, actually.
Yeah, I found that interesting. Okay, so the question I asked is, how much have you spent on Steam? And we're all familiar with Steam. It's like the preeminent PC gaming marketplace. And for a long time, since I think the service came out, you could go to your payment history, and then you could see everything you spent money on. But, it's multiple pages for some people like me. I never really bothered to add it up or anything. Yeah. But with the new GDPR, all these companies are being forced to have one page where they show you everything. All the shit, all the information they have on you, from chat logs they have saved to like every computer you've ever logged into Steam, you can see on one page now, like the name of every computer and all that stuff. And one of the things you can see, obviously, is how much you've spent. So I do want to drop this link, and I want you guys, if you are willing and able and want to share with us in chat what your number comes up as. So for me, it was 2,119, which actually is a lot more than I thought it would be for me. And I've been using Steam since 2006, I guess, whenever it came out. So yeah, that's a big number. Mark, what's your number?
I share my number as well. I dropped the link for it. It's not as high as yours, but again, it is a little higher than I thought it would be. I'm saying about 1450 myself.
Oh wow, yeah, it's a lot less than mine. Not like a quarter.
And what's remarkable actually is I actually shared this link with a few buddies on both the MMOs Discord and another Discord I'm in, just to see where everybody else kind of stood. And I thought it was pretty fascinating just where the numbers were basically all around. And what I found is most of my friends have spent anywhere between 1,400 to basically 1,900. That seems to be a sweet spot for a lot of my friends. Like I've seen at least 10 people in that range. A couple of my friends came out really low, like 300 to 500, and I had one of my buddies come out with an unbelievably big number, like the biggest of my group. I dropped the link as well. So one of my buddies spent $7,700 on Steam.
Wow,
which is pretty crazy considering almost everybody else I know universally spent like 1,500 to like 2K. That seems to be the sweet spot for most of my buddies. But yeah, actually, it's really cool that you can find this all in one spot now.
Yeah, and guys, that is a legit link. You can tell if you have Chrome or Firefox on the top left. It says like Valve. Yeah. So it's a real link. I wouldn't send you a keylogger.
Yeah, there were always third-party websites that tried to like value like how much money you spent on Steam and stuff, but this is actually a look at how much money was directly spent on the Steam platform, and it's done through Valve, so you know it's legit. You can just log into your own Steam account, go to your account profile, and find it there as well. But the link we gave in the chat earlier was a direct link.
And don't forget, guys, this is, like Omar said, there have been services that kind of value your library. This is not that. This is how much you've spent, but it does include both credit card spending and also Steam wallet funds you spent. So, for example, a lot of my money actually came from, I would sell items in Dota, right? Mm-hmm. Like $100 items, and then use that money to buy games. So it is still cash I spent, so it's a fair number. But just do keep in mind that if you are a trader on the marketplace and you are using the Steam wallet funds you accumulate that way, it will it will count it towards spending.
I dropped the link again for those curious. I thought it was really cool too, just sharing those numbers with everyone. Kind of wish it broke it down more between like how much you spent like in microtransactions in like Dota 2 or CS:GO versus how much you spent on buying games and whatnot.
Oh yeah, and Dewey Bear, you're totally right. It's very you have to always look at the URLs. Like this one also, you can tell when they're legit just by the way they look. And when you click on them, look again, obviously, because they could be spoofed there. Mm-hmm. Look again up there, and like I said, a lot of new browsers will actually tell you the company behind an HTTPS URL.
Yeah, all time. I'm curious, how did you get your spending down to store purchases, gift purchases, in-game purchases?
Okay, so
mine
once
was broken down
once you click that first link and then you run it, click my second link, the store.steampowered.com/account, and when you click on that, you'll see all that.
See if you can find it. Where's your second link, Altai?
Okay,
I see. No, that links to the same place. I just see external funds used. Why was that broken down as nicely as yours? Wacko with a $4,000 spend.
All right. I share it again. Do you see now?
Yeah, I'm on there. What do I do now?
So you should just see it on the right,
nope.
Top right. No? Here.
Nope.
That's what it looks like. I'll show it on you guys can see the last 2 digits of my phone number. Aren't you excited?
Ooh.
Oh, and you can see my email.
But I imagine a lot of people are have spent more than they thought they would have spent.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I definitely spent more than I thought I did. I did not think I was near 2K.
So my Steam page doesn't display it the way yours does. Yours is pretty interesting that you can see it exactly.
You should be able to see this. I don't know.
I'm on the same page as you.
I don't know what you're doing.
Only 2,100 guys. Only 2,100.
7-O-Matic at 3.6K. Who's the winner? Who's the winner in chat? Are we
I think we got 4,100 with Zeronjix, and Wacko is about the same as well.
All right.
I don't think anyone beats my friend 7K just yet.
If anyone beats 7K, post it. All right. I will give you a new $1 Steam game, for the record beater. Okay. That's your reward for spending lots of money.
And on a somewhat related note, there's also I'm sure you've heard this is a SteamTime.info. What they do is they calculate how much time you spent on basically all of Steam games combined, and just adds up how many. But all this information is public to you anyway on your Steam page. But this adds up for you. So I'm curious what your number is for wasted hours on Steam. Okay. Mine's actually not that high. I'm surprised how short mine is. How small mine is.
Let's find out. Let me log in. Boop, boop, boop.
I'm at 3,100 hours. You can just type in your ID as well. I just type remote and it shows up.
6,000 hours. 6,200. That's not bad.
I'm only 3,100.
3,100? Oh, because you know why? I did Dota, you did League, and League is off Steam.
Yeah, League is a lot of my time is, and it's funny. Most of my friends who have like crazy hours, almost all their time is spent on Dota 2 or CS:GO.
Yeah.
Our buddy Chicken MC, for example, has about 10,000 hours played on Dota 2, and I have another buddy that's up to like 5,000 hours spent on Dota 2. And I'm thinking to myself, holy shit! Like, if you were just working a $10 an hour job instead of playing Dota 2, you have like 50 grand like saved up. And like, I guess it's okay if you spent like all that time in Dota 2, like you were really good. But like, I feel like I spent a lot of time in Dota 2 and I still suck at Dota 2, you know? So it's like all that time spent and I still suck.
Yeah, it is interesting. And actually, I did want to talk a little bit more of Steam, but this is more relevant, guys. I'm sure if you guys post your hours, a lot of you will have thousands as well. And this segues nicely into a story that came out this week. The World Health Organization has officially classified gaming disorder as a mental health condition.
Whoa.
So how do you feel about this? There was a little talk about it a few months ago. Joshies, thank you for the sub. 2 months.
Thank you, Joshies.
So who here is a video game addict? And who here agrees with the World Health Organization that this should be a mental disorder?
What do they qualify as video game addict? How much time did they spend to be a video game? Like, what constitutes a video game addict?
Well, they actually describe it. Let me find this. There was 3 criteria. It was does it affect your real life? Like, do you play games instead of taking care of your real life obligations? That's important.
Yeah.
So let me try to find the actual causes here.
Because I'm curious if they have a number for how long. Okay, I think their number was 20 hours actually. From what there's 20 hours a week considers you an addict, I think.
There you go. So I think a lot of us definitely are addicts.
All right. The school. they consider people that play 20 hours a week a video game addict, which seems pretty ridiculous considering I think most of us. I mean, I spend more than 20 hours a week playing games.
No,
And I don't consider myself an addict.
You're an addict.
Am I an addict?
Yes. And here's what I find their actual criteria. Okay, so here's the 3 criteria. One is that the gaming behavior takes precedence over other activities to the extent that other activities are taken to the periphery. The second feature is, quote, impaired control of these behaviors. Even when the negative consequences occur, this behavior continues or escalates. Persistent or recurrent behavior patterns of sufficient severity. So number 3, third feature is that the condition leads to significant distress and impairment in personal, family, social, educational, or occupational functioning. And I think it's that third one that proves this is real. I know a lot of people, I won't say any names here, but they kind of complain about looking for jobs and stuff. They can't find a job, but they're always on games. If they put like 10% of the effort they put, in education or reskilling that they put into gaming, they'd get a job, So I think that the third one is clearly the money shot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, but I think just hours spent alone, I don't think is a fair estimate.
Hours,
there are many functions.
Hours is not even on this list.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because just like with drinking, somebody could drink more than someone else, but someone else could be a problem drinker. It's about controlling it and not letting it control you.
I mean, look at those numbers, Jeff. Like 20 hours are like rookie numbers. You spend 20 hours a week playing games. That's like you're a casual in my eyes. All right. When I play Final Fantasy 14 and I was rating with the new tiers. I mean, if you're not playing 8 hours a day, like you're a casual. And 8 hours a day, for a week is going to be like 72 hours. I can't do math. It's actually 56 hours. Math is hard. But yeah, so those are rookie numbers otherwise. And when I was playing League, it wasn't like anyone that's played League or Dota or even like an MMORPG hardcore or like pretty consistently, like playing 8 hours a day was not unusual. Mm-hmm. Even at our age, it was like, what's the point of playing one ranked game of League? What's the point? Like, you don't play one ranked game. Like, what are you doing? It's like opening a box of Oreos and eating one Oreo. Is there anyone out there that has eaten one Oreo? No. If you buy a box of Oreos, you're gonna. Like, I'm not. I'm not a big guy. I'm not overweight or anything. But like when I buy a box of Oreos, you eat minimum one entire roll of Oreos. You eat like 1/3 of the box. You don't eat one Oreo. It's like opening M&Ms and eating one M&M. It's unheard of. Why play one run of League? Why play one run of Overwatch? You play. You got to get your fill.
Yeah. So why drink? One beer. You got to get your fill.
Yeah. There you go.
But
entire bag of Oreos. Yeah, me too. Big.
Do you remember? Here's another thing. For the first one here, do you remember when we were younger, like the addiction level we had for stuff like EverQuest? Like I remember we wake up at like 6 a.m. and we bolt to the computer. We would neglect food, showering, sleep, just to play longer. So that's another sign of addiction. If you just play, even if you play 8 hours a day, if you wake up, do what you got to do, play, and then go to sleep, that's fine. You're not an addict. But if you don't want to shower because you're afraid to get off for that 10 minutes, right? That's a sign of addiction, I think.
I think that there are 250 treatment centers for addiction in China for internet addiction, which is pretty crazy. I know we watched a documentary as well on addicted teenagers in China, which are pretty astounding. Some of these videos.
So are we in agreement then? This is a real thing. Is anyone out there not agreeing? I'd like a good perspective from someone who doesn't think it's a disorder.
I mean, anytime something is interfering with your real life and your responsibilities, I think it's pretty unambiguous that becomes some kind of disorder or a problem, some kind of mental issue.
Also,
and gambling is the same thing. If you're gambling to a degree where it's impeding your other functions, yeah, it's a problem.
And actually, I would say a lot of it is self-diagnosable. So, for example, let's say you're okay with just not working. You're like, you know what? I don't want to work. I want to sit here, play my games. $200 a month on food stamps is good enough for me. Then I don't think you're addicted, even if you do it 12 hours. That's a choice you made, right?
Yeah.
But if you're the kind of person who's sitting there like, oh my God, I feel so bad. I want to do X, Y, Z, but I can't. I'm just sitting here. All right, time to play some games. Then you're the addict. Okay, even if you might be in the same situation as someone else, but that person is at least self-aware and is doing it willingly, right? Where you're kind of trapped and going crazy.
Also, Catchup, for the 20-hour figure was from a BBC coverage of that, right? Where they looked at some teenagers in Scotland, and they said they were addicted because they were playing 20 hours or more a week. along with other things. So I don't think they meant the 20-hour number as a firm number for the reason for being addicted. That was like an example given for these specific teenagers in Scotland. So it was that along with, getting in the way of other functions. For them, it would probably be their homework or their responsibilities. But I don't think you could put just a number on it, because I agree. Just if you arbitrarily take one number, and if everything else is functioning, I don't think any number can be like a problem number.
And Rage Gamer says, do you feel that way about drug addict who doesn't do anything illegal other than use a drug? There are, in fact, I think there are millions of functional drug addicts. So that's fine. Actually, a lot of people are functioning addicts to caffeine. They get headaches. They're groggy. They're mean. They can't work well without coffee. It's only a problem is if it affects like the rest of their world.
Mm-hmm. I mean, a lot of video games today, even like MapleStory says, like you've been mapling for 3 hours. You should take a break. A lot of games do that. So a lot of games give you a heads up on it. I know in South Korea and China, if you're below 18 for minors, you only have to play like X amount of hours per day. There's like pretty heavy government regulation on how long you can play. But you just literally cannot play after a certain amount of time. Though for adults, obviously there's no restriction. But they do monitor children that way, because I guess they figure the parents aren't gonna, parents are too busy with work. So it's up to the government for them in those countries to, I guess, regulate how long they can watch or play.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we had this discussion several times, but just to ask again, do you think America or the West and Europe should adopt similar measures that we're seeing in East Asia now, where they restrict playtime, especially for minors?
Whew, obviously, it's a tough one. I still think it's parental responsibility. But if you look at, I think Alta and I were at a buffet earlier today, and I remember just seeing like when I was going to get a plate of food, that there was a kid watching a video on YouTube, and it was one of those like ElsaGate videos. And if you're not familiar with that term, if you Google ElsaGate, there's a whole subreddit for it. But they're basically these algorithmically generated YouTube videos with just really weird colors and really bizarre videos. And like there's like tens of thousands of them, and they're just basically these nonsensical videos of just colors and like some singing and dancing. And this kid was just mesmerized by these colors on his screen, and he was just watching it nonstop. And like the parents were talking while this kid was just staring at this video. It kind of shows like to a degree like parents will put like games in front of kids just to, like make them shut up for hours on end. And I don't think it would be unusual to, like at home, a parent like coming home from work, like and letting his kid play like a mobile game all day, like nonstop, literally all day. So like there was actually a case, I think the BBC, they covered it, saying there was a Fortnite, like a 9-year-old girl was taking the treatment for gaming addiction for playing Fortnite too much. I think she peed herself like multiple times willingly instead of getting up to go to the bathroom to play Fortnite.
Wow.
So like, and the parents are clearly not following her, because they just want to, I guess kick back and watch TV after they get home from work.
That's insane. You know what? As addicted as we were as kids, I never peed myself.
Same.
So I could.
You hold on. Altai has peed in a cup. All right.
Altai
has literally
not a cup. It was one of those gallon waters, empty gallon water.
Altai had a piss jar. Okay, so I think that's not as bad as peeing yourself. A piss jar
does not count as peeing yourself.
Okay, you also weren't 9. All right. So as a 9-year-old, also you were a guy. This was a 9-year-old girl. It's a little bit harder for a 9-year-old girl to have a piss jar. Okay, you have to aim. It's more logistics. It becomes it's a feat of engineering for a girl to use a piss jar.
This is true.
All right. Rage Gamer says piss jars are a-okay. Okay. On another note, okay, do you consider like if somebody's applying? Okay, you're a guild leader for EVE Online, let's say. Okay, somebody's applying to join your fleet. You have 2 identical candidates, but one says he uses piss jars. Would you take him over the other guy?
Yes. That shows a level of dedication to the cause. All right.
The piss jar is actually, it goes on the top of the resume, all right, boys?
A shit jar. I think they call those diapers. They call those diapers, dude.
A piss jar is just a diaper, boys. Wait, this story's looks like the girl had an Xbox One and she was playing Fortnite and she became addicted to the game and it's affecting her life.
Insane.
And the girl kept falling asleep in class and her grades were slipping because she would just literally be playing Fortnite all the time. That's actually pretty remarkable. Leads to urine-soaked pillows and aggressiveness. All right.
I'm actually really curious to see the next Super Data report. It should be out on Sunday, 24th.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want to see how much money Fortnite has made in the last month. And just recently they announced they released it for Switch, right? Fortnite.
Yeah.
And apparently it's already got 2 million subs, or not subs, excuse me, players or downloads.
Gubik says, I would take the piss jar guy 100%. If he pisses himself, 150%. So pissing yourself is a bonus compared to that. That really shows dedication to a degree.
Oh, back to Steam real quick. I do want to one more thing. So I did write in the weekly a little bit more about Steam here and how it's changed over the years. And there's a new beta UI actually in the works. And I was wondering, see, I read last week that they are discontinuing support for Windows XP and Windows Vista. And the reason they gave was they're using some new, technical stuff that doesn't support those old OSs. Yeah. I was wondering what that means. What are they changing? And now we know they're basically making a new UI, and it's going to look a lot more like Discord. So here's a screenshot of the new UI, and as you can see, it looks a lot like Discord, eh?
Definitely. I mean, no surprise there. I mean, Discord's working, so just copy it, right? Why not?
Yeah. It's interesting. It's fun. Looks fun.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I will ever see. I don't think I'm going to see Steam like replacing Discord yet. I mean, had they done this kind of UI,
yes.
Had they built this into Steam before Discord, it would have been awesome. Like, I think Discord could have been, Steam could have been Discord, but they're playing catch-up now. They're playing copycat. I mean, some people do use Steam to talk to each other, but I just feel like Discord is so cemented now as like the place to talk to people. I use Discord vastly more than I use social media now. Like, Discord is my social media. I use Discord for chat and for everything. I don't use, only time I use Twitter is to read things. I don't post anything on Facebook anymore either. So this is basically Steam. Once in a blue moon, I'll use to message somebody if they're not on Discord. It's the only time I'll really use Steam Messenger.
I still have like a group of friends that have not migrated to Discord. So maybe for that group, this will be the way I communicate with them. So I think it will serve its purpose. And even if it doesn't completely replace Discord, they have to do it just to have a functioning chat system. Like, how dated does the current Steam chat feel? It's like straight out of like the AOL Instant Messenger days, right?
Mm-hmm. Looks nice though. Yeah. Steam is they're playing catch up though. They've been playing catch up with streaming as well. I know Steam has its own built-in streaming platform thing to watch your friends play, but it's never going to touch Twitch or even like Hitbox or any of those other sites either. Just Twitch is king, and Steam is playing catch up. Despite having all the advantages, I feel like Steam could have been the platform for streaming had they jumped on the bandwagon before Twitch and all these other companies.
Oh yeah. And I have a question for everyone out there too. Do you guys think Steam will still be king in the next 5-10 years? It's got a lot more competition now. We see Destiny 2 and Call of Duty are leaving. Activision Blizzard is putting those on Blizzard Battle.net. EA has Origin. Ubisoft has Uplay. So what do you guys think? Is it gonna go down, or is it gonna stay king? What's gonna happen here?
I don't know. It has more real competition now than ever before, so it's gonna be rough. I think it'll still be big, and it'll probably still keep growing, but it's gonna, as a percent of the market, I think it'll shrink. But it'll still be huge, I think. And we discussed how long, we shared a screenshot for how long we've played games on Steam too. It's weird because like the games that you play a lot, obviously games like League and Dota and MOBAs, but I looked at my Final Fantasy 14 playtime, and I'm currently at 77 days and 15 hours on my character, which is, it's not bad. I've had more on World of Warcraft back in the day. But like that translates to about 1,850 hours. That's like more than half the time I spent on all of the Steam games combined. Like, I'm 3,100 hours on Steam for everything on there. But for Final Fantasy 14 alone, I'm at 1,850 hours. It kind of shows you how much of a time sink MMORPGs really are. And because I guess a lot of people don't always play MMORPGs on Steam, their numbers can be pretty low. If I can include my World of Warcraft numbers and my Final Fantasy 14 numbers and my Maple Story numbers, I'd be really interested to see like how much time I spent gaming. I'm curious like what percent of my life has been spent playing video games. It'd be great to see if that was possible. It's not though, because the time we spent playing Ultima Online, these games before Steam and these shutdown games now, it's impossible to track how long you've been playing them. But like, it'd be really cool to compare like how many hours you spent of your life playing video games.
Yeah, I think that is always surprising, and it's funny. It's always so. While you're doing it, it's like so obvious, right? Like it's no big deal. When you look back, like 5,000 hours is like a PhD course, like program, so imagine all the schooling you get, a year. You probably play as much games as schooling, right? As a kid.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. So it's a crazy, amount of time.
And not just that, again, my buddy, Chicken MC, and he publicly, I can see in his profile, he spends about 10,000 hours playing Dota 2. Like, imagine you were working for $10 an hour instead of playing Dota 2. Like, just that one game. That's $100,000. That's like a larger sum of money than like most people see in their lifetime, like in the world, right? Because like, most people don't live, people that develop the world probably see more than that, but comparing everywhere else in the world, Asia and whatnot, $100,000 is a lot of money. I think the lifetime earnings of the average like American, which is one of the wealthiest countries in the world, is like $2 million or something, lifetime earnings. And here's $100,000 worth of time spent playing Dota 2. And for most people that play Dota 2 for 10,000 hours, they're not going to be a professional. They're not going to be making a streaming career or anything either. So it's amazing how much of our time and life we sink into video games, which I don't regret it either, because
it is what it is.
Joy, obviously, it is what. Yeah, and plus we've been fortunate enough to to run MMOs.com and MMOs.com, and we have made a career out of it. But most people don't. But even if I didn't, I don't think I would regret that. The time I spent playing these games is,
yeah, I mean,
this is my main hobby.
Before, if you're not playing games, you're watching TV or something. So it's not like you're solving cancer just because you're not playing games. All right, so
exactly, yeah, that's fair. Because if you weren't, it's not like you were going to be working for $10 an hour or anywhere instead. Instead of doing this, you'd be doing some other bullshit. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, exactly.
And if anything, arguably, gaming is a better waste of time. I think the social element of games, especially MMORPGs, you really can't underdo it. I mean, yes, gaming is kind of associated with being like lonely and like possibly some depressive stuff, but I think online gaming is generally good for people, even with the toxicity.
I love this straight hydration bot. Did you see this?
Yeah,
that's funny.
Is that a real bot?
I don't know what that is, but it's funny. I actually thought it was someone making a joke about not streaming too long, like an April Story message where it says you've been playing for 1 hour, time to take a break. But apparently it was a hydration bot.
I like it. That remind me to take a drink as well.
All right. Well, with that, guys, so I think we all seem to be still pretty optimistic about Steam. So it's here to stay. Keep plugging away hours at it. What's next?
Let me see. Somebody asked for the Steam time. I'll go ahead and share that real quick. If you guys want to see how much time you spent on Steam, you can look it up over there as well. Mine's only 3100 there. But yeah, let's move on a bit to other MMORPG news and other fun stuff to cover this week. Worth mentioning, a bit of an oddball announcement came this week. Came as a surprise. I put the news article for it up earlier. ELOA is relaunching. I don't know if you remember what ELOA is, Altai. Do you remember?
That's the game that had the whole controversy and fight between the two companies publishing it under different names, right?
Yeah. It was a pretty spicy controversy. So what happened was it was called In Spirit Online, and what's really bizarre is like the Korean developer that made this game, right? So the In Spirit Online launched in America. They advertised. They had a player base. It was after like a few months, and then the Korean developer that actually made the game is like, holy shit, what the hell is going on? This company in America launched our game without a permission. That they're literally running a private server for our game, and then they launched their own version called ELOA to compete with the private server. And I think they eventually took down with copyright claims the private server. So the developer itself ran ELOA for a while, but the game never really did too well. It shut down, and at one point it relaunched through WebZen. So it was available as a private server. Then it launched through the Korean developer, and then it launched through WebZen, and it shut down there as well. And now Play With Interactive, the guys best known for Rohan Online and Seal Online, two relatively obscure games that have been around for a long time.
Quality titles.
I mean, maybe. They're both really old. But this company decided to relaunch it, and they're calling it Warlords Awakening. Can you think of a more generic name than that, Warlords Awakening? I don't know. It just seems very, lame.
I think they're copying they're trying to go with the WoW naming.
But this is like an anime-looking game. It's like a cartoon. It's like these bright colors.
Yeah, it's a lame name. ELOA was better than that.
But ELOA is a pretty shitty acronym too. ELOA is an acronym for Elite Lord of Alliance. Like that comes like a fourth grader.
Random words.
Yeah, fourth grader pulls up like 4 letters that he really likes and like tries to make something that sounds cool. Like, guys, what if we name it Elite Lord of Alliance? These are just really cool words. You put them together, you got a game name, right? So I don't know. Maybe one of the reasons this game has always failed is because it has really shitty names. But what's even more bizarre is when they made the announcement that this game was coming, there's a Steam page up for the game already. I think it's linked on there somewhere. Game Steam page at the bottom. They make no mention of ELOA actually at all. Like literally, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, if you Control F ELOA, like you won't find anything on the Steam page. I'm trying to find it. Let's see. Yeah, it's just 1 out of 4, but I'm not finding anything on here. So it's really weird. This is actually ELOA though, but they make no mention of ELOA, and they actually call themselves a new MMORPG. Because what's really bizarre about this is Massively OP and a few other MMO websites that covered this news, they kind of covered it incorrectly. They're like, oh, Play with Interactive's launching a brand new MMORPG, Warlords Awakening. I look at the trailer, and within 3 seconds, like, what the fuck? This is not a new MMORPG. This is literally just ELOA, but with a different name. So we got the coverage right. We got the percept. Look, this is the MMOs.com, MMO.io of playing shitty MMORPGs for a long time. All right, I have played through so many of these Duker games. Obviously, I have not made it to the end game in most of these games, but I've played at least like 4 or 5 hours of a lot of these mid-tier, low-tier games that no one's ever heard of. So when I see a trailer for a game, it rings the bell if I've played it before with a different name or not.
Can we please have a petition for Steam to list the release date as the first time the game came out anywhere in the world, and then maybe below that they can have a Steam release date? Because it's so annoying that this game is going to be a 2018 release date, even though, like you said, it's not a 2018 game. It's been available in Korea and America in the past, years ago. So I always find that annoying that they don't actually have the real release
This is
date.
by no means a 2018 release. What's even more bizarre is actually look at the game's tags: single player, online multiplayer, co-op, online co-op. There's no way this game has offline co-op. What are they smoking? It's an MMO. There is no single player. There is no there's no offline co-op either. I think the Korean developers that put this page up, how do we get the most exposure? Let's just check every single category. Yes, sir. Good idea. Check single player, check online multiplayer, check MMO, check co-op. Come on. It's none of those things, guys. It's none of those things. It's literally just an MMO, all right? They're just lying.
Okay, they used to have a single player tag too. Is it still there, or did they remove it?
Yeah, it's still there. It's still a single player game.
So I'm on the official discussion page, and somebody asks, why is single player in the chat? Can I play offline too? How does it work? And then the actual developers responded more. Look at this. And here's what they have to say. The game tag single player simply refers to being played by one person on one machine. What?
No.
That is the best definition of single player I've ever heard. One player, one machine, it's single.
Guys, literally every single game is single player. by that logic. Guys, World of Warcraft is a single player game. Did you guys know that? It's single player.
I love this.
Battlefield 1 is a single player game.
This is like the logic. You can't beat this. It's single, one person playing.
They're not wrong.
Wrong.
It is one machine, one person, all right? It's like an RPG is a role-playing game, you know. I guess you can role-play as a counter-terrorist in CS, right?
I love this guy.
That's actually genius.
Can I up arrow? Is it like up arrow or anything on No. All right. This developer is God mode.
Okay. This is worth putting a news article on MMOs.com. Like today I learned single. I'll put this on Reddit. Like today I learned single player means one machine, one person. But yeah, they're going to plug as many tags as they can.
Yeah, they're just plugging everything.
So do you think this game has a chance, Altai?
No.
No, just a firm no.
Firm no. If they might show some kind of founders pack, grab some money, but besides that, I don't think so.
This game is. I remember the gameplay of ELOA was at least like somewhat different. So it was cool about this game, like the special sauce, if you will, right? It wasn't too special, but what it did have was every class has like 3 different like play styles, so like 3 different weapons. So they each get 3 different like set of skills, which make each like of the 3 abilities you can switch at will plays radically differently. So that was kind of cool. No other like action and RPG had that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's got something going on for it. But I'm basing my opinion on the fact that it's already failed twice. It does have the Steam push behind it now.
Yeah.
So I think people, if it's free, without any gimmick buy to play, there will be thousands of people online day one, regardless of how good or bad it is. But I don't know if it's gonna be able to hold those players.
Level 40 level cap. Oof, it's not very good. I'm not a fan of level cap.
It doesn't matter how. It depends how fast you level. It doesn't really say anything.
True. Founders package price will not differ from early access and full launch. All new packages will be added for full launch afterwards. Yeah, we'll see.
So it's buy to play?
No, there will be founders packs. Though.
Oh,
there will be founders packs.
Okay.
The game is launching in July into early access, and later in summer for a full as an early access release. That's the information we have about this game so far. It's just bizarre to see yet another game relaunch, but it's just really misleading for them to not use the word ELOA either. Because I know ELOA, people did like. There are people out there that liked ELOA, and they're not like they have to find this game again because the name is different.
Oh, well, I look forward to trying it on Steam in July, so I will. You guys can see what it looks like.
It was somewhat actiony, if I remember correctly. Regalia. I haven't played for a while, so I kind of forgot. But if I remember correctly, it was definitely like action-y. But again, it's been some time. And actually, I remember I did a video for ELO. Like a really good video. Let me see if I can find it. It was like I think I put it as in spirit. This is well worth sharing. This is one of the MMOs.com gems of a video. All right.
I want to play some good single player games like Nino Kuni, and ELOA.
So look at this quality single player game, boys. Look at these boob physics in this game. All right. This is the character creator when your character's not even moving. Just no need for audio. Just show the video. All right. The boobs can't stand still, boys. They can't stand still. They got a mind of their own.
At least it's not the generic a Korean MMORPG character creator with the humans. This one's a little different.
But like she's blue. That's generally it, you know.
She got big ears. She's a blue elf.
I do think the best boob physics of any MMO I've ever seen. It's worth sharing. I'm sure we've shared it before. Just show this for 10 seconds. The intro of this video. This was my first look for Savage Hunt. Best boob physics 2018.
God.
Have you ever seen something remotely this good, guys? Anyone in the chat, look at the quality of this video. All right? Just unbelievable. This is 2018 technology at work, boys. All right? This is gaming. This is modern. This is the peak of modern gaming. You may not like it, guys, but this is peak gaming right here.
The funny part is the background looks pretty nice. Like the wall on the right, the wagons on the left there.
Yeah.
It looks nice. I don't know. This is problem. Oh, I think we had a discussion about how much freedom you want to give players and the player creator, and this is the problem with giving a little too much freedom. The actual world looks nice.
Why is it a problem?
You look like you're bugged, like just like polygons, like you look like a visual bug.
All bodies are beautiful. This is 2018. You can't have these opinions. You gotta be locked up for hate crimes. You make your character the way you want, and I'll make my character the way I want. Who are you to tell me how I ought to look, huh? Because I don't prescribe to your standards of beauty. All right, Altai?
It just doesn't fit. It just looks, like when was the last game that this happened? I think Mario
Perfect
64.
World had something really ridiculous too.
It did, but I remember like old games like Mario 64, where from a certain angle, like the polygons would stretch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of looks like that, but for your boobs.
I still don't see the problem. Give players the freedom to make their characters as wonky as they want, and I think it's a-okay. You will always have some players looking like this, but most people don't do that. Most people look at Perfect World. The game is like really crazy, like as crazy as this, if not crazier. Character customization, and most people look normal. The people that you see that look really retarded are playing the game for like a day and they quit. Yeah. So most people don't look stupid anyway.
Can I just say this Ratman looks the most swole Ratman from any game I've ever seen. Usually Ratman are like these like sneaky like roguelike characters, They're thin and long with the tails. The Cool Core, thank you for the 100 bits.
Thank you, the Cool Core. Mucho appreciated, fam.
Does anyone see this? Look at this Ratman.
Dude, that's pretty serious business.
It's buff as hell.
Apurian grave robbers, they're not Ratmen.
Oh,
and did you assume that Rat's gender? Come on, this is 2 strikes now. All right, all bodies are beautiful, and never assume genders. All right.
This is an insane rat.
Yeah. But I am all for like crazy character customization, and the more come to think of one of the reasons I really liked FF14 was just the level of depth you can customize your character. It wasn't nearly as good as like some of the options of Black Desert or Perfect World, but just the detail on your character, the character models themselves, and the appearance customization. I think for an MMORPG where your avatar and the social elements are such a big part of the game, you need good quality. All right, boys, you need character customization and creation. And the problem with this game had a lot of other issues than just appearance customization.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this. This is the look you got going on.
All right, I thought you're just a hater. All right, my character's beautiful. All right.
I got another interesting story. Kind of beating a dead horse here, but it's Star Citizen related.
Ooh, let's hear it.
All right. So apparently on the Reddit, a longtime fan and defender of Star Citizen has lost faith. He's lost faith more. He spent $4,500 over the years, and he's done. And it's actually quite interesting why he's done. So he's like, he's kind of getting frustrated that the game is not being delivered from what it was promised. They keep adding features, making it an MMO.
Yeah, feature creep and stuff.
Feature creep. And he says he actually suffers from multiple sclerosis. So he says every year my body degrades. So he's afraid that he won't be able to play the game by the time it eventually comes out because they keep adding stuff to it. So I never thought of that perspective, but can you imagine somebody in 2013 or whenever, supporting the game because he believes the timeline, and this could be somebody with a condition, health condition, that he literally won't live long enough, to enjoy the game if it takes 30 years to come out or whatever. So that's an interesting perspective I never really thought of. It's a real shame for him because he was a big supporter for many years. It's crazy.
Look, we're still hoping they release something awesome. It's just I stopped following the development too much. I still stick by our MMOs.com estimate for Star Citizen full release of 2072. They do keep adding new stuff to it, and it's just still so bizarre to see the game has had numerous conventions. Like there's been like 3 or 4 conventions for the game. There's a monthly subscription for the game that doesn't even exist yet. It's got this whole like ecosystem around it for a product that's not even done yet or even close. Like the Persistent Universe is nothing yet. It's like a 40-man servers or something. But it's something else. It's really the story of Star Citizen, whether it comes out or not, is going to be something epic for it's going to be either this amazing thing in gaming where crowdfunding has led to like this amazing idea that big publishers couldn't do, which I don't think it's going to happen, or this humongous failure. One way or another, it'll be big news when something happens with Star Citizen. And I know Derek Smart will have the biggest boner when that happens. But it should be exciting.
And I love this guy's post. So here's the Reddit thread. It's got apparently like a shit ton of comments. So here's how he starts. I backed in 2012. I'm a gold ticket concierge a few times over. Okay, anytime your program has titles like this, it's a scam. Like whether it's like a multi-level marketing, like I'm a gold elite platinum, like concierge level 6 in my multi-tiered system. It's you don't use terms like this. Like what is it? I don't even know what that means. Like what? The only other times you see this kind of wording is like those Chinese browser games. They got those tiers and stuff. Yeah. So it's a dead giveaway that it's something shady going on.
Those terms alone are kind of sketchy. But then again, like what really sealed the deal for me was that $27,000 bundle that came out recently. That it was only it's so weird that it was only visible to players that spent $1,000 or more. Like if you were a new player, you couldn't even see that yet. You're not even privileged enough to see the $27,000 bundle. You have to earn the privilege of being able to buy the $27,000 bundle after you spent your first $1,000. They didn't want to put that for sale until you spent your first $1,000, which is such a bizarre tactic. It's insane.
Wow, this is insane. Yeah, I just want to read this. It's pretty funny.
Right.
It's not funny. It's sad actually.
All right, let's hear it.
Add on to all of that, I mean, I've got MS. My body gets a little worse with each passing year. So this is going back to a poll that a tiny portion of the community voted in, and saying that their vote somehow means that CIG has as long as they freaking want to build whatever game they want, even if it's not what I bought. Why the heck should the community be able to demand CIG pull a bait and switch on me? If I'd known this was going to be a ++ year project, no, I wouldn't have backed it in 2012. I already knew I had MS and knew it would be getting a bit worse every year. And now, well, by the time this game actually comes out, if it comes out in 2022 or whatever, I won't physically be able to play it. But Stitch won't give refunds. And if you actually send mail to the address listed in the ELOA, because their online refund system is actually just a poorly scripted mail bot that doesn't actually do anything, what you get is this. Okay, so let me see what this links to.
See what we
return to sender. So he tried to get a refund for his $4,500, and I guess they give you the runaround.
Wow, that actually really sucks.
Yeah,
this guy's trying to reach out for a refund. I mean, if you get enough attention like that, you will get a refund. I know, like all the top rated comments on SIG on SIG's on the Star Citizen subreddit, they do get attention from the people that work there. So I'm sure this guy's gonna be able to get a refund, which is good. But it'll be a sad day though if this flops, because at a certain point, like, this money's being spent. Like there won't be money for refunds at a certain point. Like they can afford to give refunds as long as new money's coming in to pay off some of the old refunds. But at a certain point, if the game flops, your money's gone. The money will be spent towards development.
What do we call a system where new money is being used to pay back old money?
That's called a Ponzi scheme. There's a very specific terminology for that. Yeah. But it's clear because this money is being spent. I mean, they have these guys have development studios in London and in Texas, I think in California as well. They have multiple offices with hundreds of employees, and they're being paid a salary. They're spending money every year that will never be available for refunds in the future. So if this game flops or doesn't come out, there will be no recourse. So if you're feeling kind of iffy on this game, the moment it's time to get a refund now if you're feeling iffy, because if you wait till they actually say lol or like they give up, if you wait till they give up, there won't be any money for refunds. Very often, like when a big project gets canceled by a big company, you will get refunds on Steam and stuff because that company makes money on other games. Star Citizen or Cloud Imperium Games they have one product and all their money is being spent on development. The money is going towards development, and at a certain point, if the game flops, there won't be any money for refunds. So if you're feeling uneasy, get a refund now and just buy the game when it comes out. You know,
that's
unless you want to risk it and you're okay with risking it and you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
Then fine, you can just wait.
Yeah. So this thread is up to what 1,200 comments now, maybe more by now. It's a good read, guys, if you are interested, and it is a perspective. You know, to me, this whole time, it's kind of been a joke. You know, this whole Star Citizen thing. But for this,
me
you
as
know,
well, yeah.
but reading this guy's story, he actually wanted to play this game. He funded it in 2012, and he physically cannot play because of his illness, because of the trend that happened. So you know, it's a new perspective on this for me. It is really sad. I hope he gets his refund, and I think you know, unless they want a lot of real bad publicity in the real, like the big news sites, official news, like not in the gaming news, but the mainstream news, they should refund this guy before it escalates from here. Because if this guy goes to like BBC or CNN, they will cover his story, right? And they'll be big, and then maybe the government will start investigating. So they should really refund this guy.
So I'm actually looking at the Star Citizen subreddit, and it's actually really remarkable to me because I think for me and you and for most people who don't follow Star Citizen, it really is surprising to see just how much like stuff there is for Star Citizen. Like there is so much discussion out there for like stuff that's not even in the game yet. People are like so eager to like. People are setting up their clans. They're divvying up the galaxy where they're going to control. People are saying, "Oh man, I hope the leaks are wrong, but it looks like the new SCM 600i cruiser has only a top speed of 135 m per second with afterburner speeds of like." There are people are discussing the nitty gritty details of a game where it's not even out yet, and these features are so irrelevant right now with where the game is. You know? It's just. I'm surprised there's such a big ecosystem for this game when there's nothing out yet, really. I mean, there's something out there, but it's not the persistent universe. It's not this big epic game that we were promised from the get-go. But people keep getting, I don't know, it's just really bizarre because they keep releasing new JPEGs, new ships, and people are getting hype over it.
I will defend them on a different story. Someone mentioned it in chat, so it is worth covering. There was another controversy this week about Star Citizen, but on this one, I'm giving them a total pass. Come on. So EVE Online and Star Citizen fans trade barbs over spaceship design. So apparently they released another JPEG ship. This one I'm showing it to you right here on stream. So I guess it's some kind of mining or hauling ship. It kind of clamps and carries crap. And they say it looks too much like this EVE Online one. But who cares? All these ships look the same, you know, from all these different shows.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
Like how many ways can you design a clamper ship? You know, like it's like saying like the bulldozers built by Caterpillar and the ones built by Hyundai or whatever in Korea, they look the same too because there's only one way to build the bull. You know, you got the big scooper, you know, you got the tracks. So if it's a functional ship for like clamping things, there's only so many ways to design it.
Yeah.
So was it inspired by this? Probably, yes. Look how similar they are, you know. But you know, who cares? Big deal. So this, to me, they get a total pass on this. I'm a very reasonable guy. I'm not just hating on Star Citizen to hate on them.
That's fair. Yeah, I agree. You know, they look similar. There's only a few ways to do a ship too. It wasn't a complete copy paste. Some of the looks were the same. It's whatever.
You know what I love about this though? This draft that Kotaku made. It's from Reddit, but they posted it. So they show the name, when it was revealed. So it's a salvage ship, and they show the price of it. So in EVE Online, if you convert the ISK cost of the ship to dollars, it costs a quarter of a penny. Okay, the ship. In Star Citizen, the same ship cost $120.
Holy, it's so bizarre. I still don't get it. I don't get it. I cannot understand why these $100, $1,000 ships exist in Star Citizen. You know, we make fun of Chinese games with $50,000 price tags for VIPs, and we make fun of that stuff. And like so many people make fun of Korean games and Chinese games for being pay to win garbage money grabs. Like it's such a common view by Western gamers. But we look at Star Citizen as like this amazing game, and it could be this dream game. But $100 ship is considered cheap in Star. There are $2,000 ships. There are $1,000 ships in this game, like dozens of them. Like what is going on? Like, how is this? How is this tolerated? People give EA shit for Battlefront 2. At least with Battlefront 2, you got a product for $60. You got something, right? Here they're selling you, $2,000 ships, $27,000 ship bundles, and no one bats an eye. It's really insane.
Well, people are batting eyes. Let's be fair. We're batting.
We're batting eyes.
We're batting a lot of eyes. I think it's funny. This is
boys.
funny. This ship stuff is funny.
I agree. It's not, but it's crazy because the ship in EVE Online costs like a quarter of a penny.
Yeah.
Because it's reasonably priced,
Probably a shitty ship. That's why. But in any case, at least you can fly the ship. I don't know if this one can even be flown yet.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking too with this GDPR thing, slight off topic here. I would like some kind of third-party verification for RNG. Have you ever played like a game where, like, it comes back to that one mobile game I talked about 2 weeks ago. I haven't played it this week. I kind of gave up on it, but in that game, there's a way to like refresh the game store. Okay, maybe I can make more sense to you guys.
Do you have a video? Idle Heroes is called.
Yeah, that bullshit game. But like Overwatch, they say your odds of getting like a legendary is 1 in 8, right? Per bag or something, right? So every 8 bags or something, Blizzard says you'll get legendary. I would love for some kind of system to be like third-party verified if those numbers are actually accurate. Or like the thing is, at least with Blizzard, I trust their numbers, right? If Blizzard says they're going to be a 1 in 8 chance to get legendary, I'm going to believe it. Same for Hearthstone, right? Whatever the numbers, I believe them. They're a Western company. They're pretty huge. They're legit, right? But when you look at some Chinese games, like not just the mobile games, the PC games as well, right? You look at some of these games, and there's RNG systems, there's gotchas. In the back of my mind, I'm always thinking, are they just lying about these numbers? Like,
yes.
Like they say it's like 4%, 5%, but there's no way that's true because my buddy recommended I play this game you're seeing on the stream right now. I don't know why he was playing. He's the guy that played 10,000 hours of Dota 2, so he's really good at Dota 2. So I'm like, I'll download this game. I played it for like 2 days and I stopped playing. But this game has
hold up before you move on. Him being good at Dota 2 made you value his mobile gaming suggestion more?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, go.
He's like a 7K MMR player. 7K MMR. That's like top. What? That's like top 500. Top
what does that mean? Who cares? How is that related?
Whatever. Okay. The point is, look, he's got some gamer skill. All right, I respect that.
Okay.
He got some gamer skill. Anyway, he tells me to play this game. I downloaded to give it a try. Right. So in this game, there's a rare resource. I don't know what it's called. It's like a purple smoke. We'll call it. Okay, purple smoke. You need purple smoke to upgrade your heroes, right? And every time you upgrade your hero to the next tier, it requires exponential amounts of purple smoke. So it requires 50, 100, 200, 400, 1,000, 2,000, something, right? It keeps going up. And the only way to get purple smoke is like you can get like 10 a day for doing some bullshit. But you can buy some in the store as well with in-game currency. But the store only refreshes every 3 hours. You can see new items in the store. If you buy the purple smoke that's for sale there, you gotta wait 3 hours for the refresh to happen. Or you can use real life money to change the refresh. You get some free currency by playing the game, right? So I'm about to quit the game anyway. I'm curious to see, like, okay, let me just blow my money in the store to get all this purple smoke. So what happens is the purple smoke doesn't always appear in the store. There's like eight items for sale, and it appears like sometimes, right? Not every single time you hit refresh, it's going to show up, right? So I hit refresh, it shows up. I hit refresh, it shows up. From my experience, it shows up like 50% of the time, right? So after I buy it 3 times, I hit refresh again. It doesn't show up that time. Like, whatever, bad RNG. I click it again. And every time you click it, it costs money. But look, the game gives you free money. I never spent a penny on this game. I'm never going to spend a penny on it. But I had like $10 worth of in-game money just doing events and shit, right? So I'm spending all my money refreshing the store to see if more purple smoke goes up for sale. And what happens is I go through like 500 of my diamonds in game, and not once does purple smoke show up.
Your mic exploded, sir. Is it me? Is it him? I can't hear you more. See, all right. Amar talked about mobile gaming for too long, so his computer cut him off. Okay, it's like no mas, no more mobile talk. Okay, you're cut off. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's the problem when you play mobile games. You get cut off.
All right, I think we're back. I think we're back.
You're back.
But yeah, I'm convinced that the numbers are absolutely bullshit. And what they do, like, it's actually pretty astounding because I think with mobile gaming especially, you could design a system that tracks player behavior, right? So think of a game like this, right? That are built on pay to win. It's built to milk money out of you, right? A game like this can be built from the ground up to basically like they will know for a fact when you they'll know with 90% certainty when you spend if you hit the refresh button in the shop to see new items, if you'll do it again based on what they present to you. Like they can figure out by studying player behavior what to show you and how to maximize profits for them. And that's why I don't think the RNG is accurate. I think the RNG is actually manipulated to get as much money out of you as possible. So I would love to see through GDPR maybe that European privacy law where these companies are the RNG mechanics in these companies are kind of verified by a third party. It would be nice to see something like that because otherwise it just seems mega sketch. And I'm never going to spend money on this game anyway. This game, I had some pretty interesting things to say about it before. You'd see other podcasts for it, but it's something else.
Yeah, I think this is the future of gaming, though, to be honest. I said it before. But I think our objective experience of games is going to end. So what I mean by that, okay, so imagine a game like this, or any game. The game is going to calibrate itself so that it's easy at the beginning, equally easy for everyone, no matter their skill. So if you're a good player, it's going to make it harder for you. So you have the exact same level of challenge. And it's going to hit a plateau, and it kind of require you to pay, or tempt you to pay. And a game's difficulty will adjust dynamically based on the person who's playing. What do you think about
that? Yeah, I mean, with a game like this that's single player, essentially, yeah, that could easily happen. You know, there's very easy to design that around.
It can happen in multiplayer too. Like, imagine you're ahead of me in StarCraft. Your guys will start giving you like one less mineral per turn, but it'll still have the same number. You know, Destiny 2 had a problem with this. People were getting less experience than they thought they were. It was telling you a certain number, right, for like the dailies or whatever, but you were actually not getting that experience. But it was still telling you. And then people said, "Is this a bug? Oh, are you lagging? Oh no." But it wasn't a bug. They were intentionally showing you one number as a reward, but actually giving you less. So it was kind of some kind of social engineering. Yeah, in Destiny. What did I say? I think I said Destiny. Oh, Disco. Okay, I'll fix it. Discord is having problems.
Yeah, I think it's just Discord, honestly, because I can hear you through the Steam. So if that happens, just you can talk for a bit. But I missed generally what you said, but I do. It's gonna be a little harder in multiplayer games because there is a sense of fairness. Though I think for a while people speculated that Overwatch had some weird comeback mechanics built into the game because it opened certain situations in the last push, like, you know, it seemed like you would have higher odds of taking it because very often weird shit like that happened. But I'm pretty sure Overwatch has nothing like that. But games kind of have like Dota 2 and League have over time added comeback mechanics because when you wipe a team that's higher level than you in League or Dota, you get more gold than they get if they wiped you and more experience. So not only is experience from the level difference, you guys get more gold. So there are comeback mechanics already built into multiplayer games. So that is kind of happening to a degree.
Agreed. And yeah, do you think that would for example, in the League of Legends, I was surprised to learn that if you kill a hero who's been killed already many times, you get less gold from killing them.
Yeah,
that kind of seems unfair. You know, like to the side doing the killing.
Isn't it like that in Dota 2, or is it? No, there's a base rate in Dota 2 and it only goes up.
There's a base rate. It only goes up. Like so, if someone has racked up lots of kills, they reward more bounty, but you don't lose, you know, gold.
It's been like that in League for a long time, actually. Because I remember when I played League a lot, right? Sometimes I would have games where I would absolutely destroy the guy in my lane, right? And at a certain point, I was getting more gold for killing a creep in the lane than I was getting from the hero. No joke. You would get like 20 gold for killing somebody you've killed like 7 times, 8 times already. And the gold keeps going down. But the thing is, if they get an assist, it goes up. If they get a kill, it resets back to 300 was the default, right? If they get an assist, it goes halfway back to the default, I think 150 or something, right? But at a certain point, if you were that far behind, it was optimal play for you not to get any kills or even assists. Just keep farming your lane on your own. Because if they keep killing you, they get nothing out of it, you know? They're getting almost no experience and like 20 gold, which is really bizarre. A bit of a side tangent. I absolutely hate those mechanics. I think if a team is winning, if a team, you know, don't add artificial comeback mechanics to a game. If you're losing, you deserve to lose.
Also,
you know?
Doesn't that extend the game? Like if you're losing if you're 0-8, let the guy get another 300 gold for killing you so he can end the game, right? And so he can move on to the next game instead of giving this bullshit where it drags him on because he's getting less gold.
It literally just makes the game last longer. And of course, the designers say they do it because it allows for cool comebacks and epic comebacks. But that's bullshit. If the team is winning, let them win. Like it's actually really bizarre because it doesn't always unfold in this way. But one example is in a game of League where you could be winning like 0 to like 8, let's say, right? And you're ahead by a good amount of gold, right? And normally in a professional game, if you're up 0 and 8, you're almost guaranteed to win a game. But we're not professional players. Most people that play are not professional players. So what happens is people do stupid things all the time in pub games of League and Dota. So in League, even if you're winning 8-0, your team, If you guys all get wiped in one team fight and now it's 5-8, guess what? You have more kills, but the enemy team is winning. They got more gold and more experience for beating you because you are ahead. That your 8 previous kills don't mean shit. They're actually ahead of you now.
That's stupid.
You know?
That's stupid.
But of course, professional players can maintain that lead better and force engagements that don't turn out like that. But in pub games, these stupid things can happen all the time. And I actually think it's actually it's actually not fun at all. It's just unfair. That the winning team should, if you want to make a comeback, comebacks can happen on their own. Don't force comebacks by giving more gold and experience to the losing team. It's so unfair to the team that's winning. It makes no sense. To a degree, Dota 2 has it as well, but not as bad.
They made it worse recently. And by recently, I mean like it's probably been over a year now. Crazy Korean. Thank you for the sub. And thank you. Yes, I'm 30 years old now. Yeah, so Dota did that too with the whole comeback mechanic, where if the team is ahead and you kill them, you get massive amounts of gold compared to before.
Yeah, it sucks. I don't know. Whatever happened to if it just seems unfair. It just seems so obviously. It seems like such a bad idea on paper, but they do it for the comebacks. King Henry, thank you for the $3 donation.
The rare donation. Thank you so much.
Much love, much love.
All right.
All right, let's take this to MMORPGs once again. All right, let's take it to World of Warcraft Classic. This is the first time we've heard anything about World of Warcraft Classic basically since it was first announced over a year ago now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they announced this week they came out with some news. They've decided the World of Warcraft Classic will be running on patch 1.12, which is the patch right before the launch of Burning Crusade. There's actually a video of patch 1.12 back. It's an old video, but you can see what the 1.12 patch looked like from like 2000, whenever this came out.
I'm kind of hoping and suspecting that what they mean by this is that the balance and class skills and everything like that, item stats, will be based on 1.12. I'm hoping they don't mean that the world will start as if it was at 1.12, because that would mean like the gates of Anchorage would already be open.
I agree. It shouldn't be like that. I agree.
Yeah, part of the fun of a new server for vanilla is the going through the events as they happened back then, including opening the new zones. You don't want to release all the like imagine tier 3 was out day 1, like the next Rammus. No, that's not fun. So I hope they pace it. Hope they pace the content, but keep the balance as if it was from back then. I think that's optimal.
Yeah, I'm looking at this too. It's they talked a little about the back end as well. They discussed about getting the back end legacy code working with new Battle.net and trying to re-engineer the code working like that. They have not said anything about any kind of release dates either. But this is the first time they came out and said anything. So it shows that there's progress being made on World of Warcraft Classic, and hopefully these updates come a bit more regularly, because it's been a long time coming for this update since that first announcement. And I'm hoping we get some kind of like alpha or some announcement for an alpha by the end of the year. Obviously they're going to pimp out Battle for Azeroth first, and I think once the hype for Battle of Azeroth dies down, then we'll hear a lot more about WoW Classic in between the next expansion after Battle for Azeroth. So in that 2-year period, we'll get World of Warcraft Classic is my guess.
All right, here's my guess for when we're going to get it. Ready? So WoW release date is
2004.
November 2004, 23rd. Yeah. I think that date is when it will come out. November 23, 2019. Exactly 15-year anniversary.
That's fair.
Yeah, because who cares about a 14-year anniversary or 16? 15 is a nice number, right? Nice.
No, you're right. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. It'll come out during the anniversary. That makes a lot of sense. All right, you heard it here first, boys. World of Warcraft Classic is launching on November 2019. All right, it's the official MMOs.com speculation date. All right,
makes sense.
Yeah, I'm still optimistic about this too. I think it'll do really well. I think people. Another thing, I think people miss the grind. Say what you will about grind, but I think people do miss it. People secretly want grind, and they say that they don't want to grind the game, but I think people want grinding games.
Yeah, and they want the experience of going through. Here's what I'll say to people. I remember my best experience in WoW was the leveling experience, right? It wasn't. So now people say, well, you can't play. It doesn't count till it's end game. But yeah. I for even MapleStory, even Ragnarok, my most fun moments was the 1 to max level experience. Though I never got to 99 in a row, but the point being,
you were like 97, weren't you?
I was close.
We were both in the 90s.
Yeah. But anyway, the point is, that's the fun of the game, the leveling experience. I think that's getting short shrift these days, but that's a shame.
But look at this. Look at this thread on RMRPG I linked you. This guy posted, "I'm looking for a grind MMORPG." Like he's not shy about it. The man wants to grind. All right. Jaka121 wants to go play a game. He wants to put his brain in the mayonnaise jar, as my buddy Zemo always says. He wants to turn his brain off and he wants to grind. He doesn't want none of that story shit. You know, look at point number 2. He doesn't want he don't want none of that story shit. He doesn't want to do 10,000 quests. All right, he wants to grind. All right, man wants to grind. I think he's tried Final Fantasy 14, but he can't pass the boring leveling. He doesn't like BDO. He wants to grind. So for him, Maple Story is definitely the game. Right?
I was gonna say BDO, but he doesn't like that one either.
And I made a comment saying Maple Story. All right, I'll hook my boy up, because if you want to grind, Maple Story is the game to grind in. You don't got to worry about no quests. Don't got to worry about no story. You know, you just go on there and you grind.
Indeed.
So they did actually nerf the leveling requirement in Maple Story. I think you told me that earlier today.
Yeah, there's the Korean patch for Black Mage is coming out, and they're gonna make level 200 to 220 25% faster, and not only that, but they're gonna make the 1 to 200 even faster.
No, the 1 to 200 is already too fast.
Yeah, they're making that even faster. I
Mhm.
don't know what, because they want people to experience the new content. This is supposed to be the final standoff in the arc where you fight the Black Mage. I'm not sure how important of an arc it is, but there you go.
I never really played Maple Story for the story. I played it for the grind. But they did have a pretty decent story. They had some pretty decent storytelling in that game, right? The writers at Nexon know what they're doing. The localizers.
I think there's actually a trailer for the new Maple Story pack, and unfortunately, this is only in Korea. It should come out here eventually, but I don't have a timeline for it.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, there's another piece of news. Closers is getting rid of its fatigue system. That I know you and several people in chat seem to hate those systems.
There's no reason for it. It's just so bizarre. The idea
that
pace
yourself.
You can pace the game by adding tons of content, and you can also do it very simply by like giving rewards for doing content for the first time. Like you can do leveling roulettes, rest experience. You can kind of do it on its own. To artificially just stop even playing a game after a certain time is just bad game design. Fatigue systems are just bad design. That's what it comes down to.
I don't know. I think they're fine.
What do you mean they're fine? Look, if you want to if I want to play this game all day, it's my goddamn right as an American. All right, I'm goddamn American.
This game is not made by Americans.
We don't live in no goddamn communist China.
It's made by the Asians, all right, and so it's got their design principles.
Fatigue systems. What is the benefit of fatigue? Why can't you just design your game around incentives where at a certain point it's just not beneficial to keep playing, right?
They do. Fatigue. Your character sucks.
Fatigue just literally stops you from playing.
Yeah, you make an alt.
No, it's such a shit system. Like again, look at Final Fantasy 14, where you can, or even World of Warcraft, where you have daily quests, right? After daily quests, like it becomes less efficient to farm money in certain ways, right? There are efficient ways to level characters in these games, right? With rest experience as well. Like give incentives for players to do their roulettes, do their daily activities, weekly activities, and then everything leveling up beyond that becomes slow and painful, right? But to use this bizarre, like, I hate to use your word, but breaking immersion where you just can't keep playing anymore.
Well,
it's just poor design.
It doesn't break immersion. You go run a marathon. You go run around all day. Oh, you go around for 8 hours killing monsters, swinging swords. Let's say how fatigued you are. You're gonna collapse.
No, it's bullshit. It's
bad
immersion?
Design. That's not breaking immersion. Boom, got him, guys.
My character's got plenty of stamina. All right.
Yeah.
I can grind orcs all day.
Mm-hmm.
It just comes down to lazy design.
No, it's not lazy. You can't swing those anime swords for too long. You get tired.
It's clearly lazy because games are going away with the fatigue system as well as closers do.
I think the game is just less popular now, so.
Yes, but one of the reasons it's less popular is people look at that fatigue system and like, this is awful. Why would I play this game? That's one of the things I look at and I kind of roll my eyes. It's not going to stop me from trying a game. I think most people, it's not going to stop them from trying a game. But for most people, if you like a game and you hit this fatigue like wall, you're going to be kind of angry. You'll be kind of pissed off. Like, what the fuck are they doing? Why can't I play this game anymore? Do they not want money? Do they not want my time? Like, do they not value me as
your character's tired, bro.
No, it's such a it just pisses players off.
Well, those players, how about this? They should run around with a sword for 8 hours, okay, and see how their characters feel. Maybe they can relate.
I like what you're statement. I'll tell you what's bad design is. I can kill gods, but I get tired when I level up 20 times. It makes no sense. You're literally killing gods in these games and doing like these, God.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you. It takes a lot out of you. You gotta rest you gotta take a break.
If you kill gods like that, but it's also but the problem is you hit the fatigue if you run a low level dungeon like 10 times, you hit your fatigue meter. What? I can go kill this god 20 times, but I can't run this low level dungeon 20 times. What? That makes no sense. Because it's usually based on how many times you've
I agree. It should be a little stricter. You know, if you're tired of one thing.
No, it just throw it out the window as they're doing. It makes no sense. Design your game around being fun. Set up incentives that prevent people from like make bonuses for doing certain things. And if you want to grind beyond the bonuses daily, make that slower paced. You know, like you can run the best way of leveling Final Fantasy 14 is doing your daily roulettes, your daily dungeon runs. There's like 6-7 roulettes you can do every single day to give you bonus experience. And if you want to keep leveling beyond that, it's actually painfully slow, but you can do it. You know, it's there if you want to do it. It's boring, but you can do it. If Final Fantasy 14 had like this system where you can only level up like you only get like X amount of experience per day, I'm telling you, people would quit that game. It would lose a lot of time. People would be pissed off. Let people play the game if they want to play the game. It seems like such a simple concept. Like, why do you want people not to play your game?
So a bartender should be able to sell you as much liquor as you want.
No, that's not the same.
There's currently a law saying he's got to cut you off. He's
Yes,
responsible if he serves you too much alcohol, right? And you get some problems.
How is this related?
Well, we were just talking about addiction. So this is a good way to hold the company who's profiting.
The reality is when you hit a fatigue system wall, what you're gonna do is play a different MMORPG or a different.
Well,
game.
you can walk into a different bar. You know, then
yeah, and if you walk in there all drunk, they're not gonna serve you anyway. So this comparison makes no sense.
It makes some sense.
No, this is a game, and it's not like physical damage like that either.
It is for your eyes. If you
and it's not up for these game companies to regulate that as well. I think if you want to talk about regulation on addiction, maybe the government can involve there, but not the game companies themselves.
But
the reality
is the government is involved in the country. This game is being developed.
But this fatigue system, the way it's implemented in games like Closers, has never worked.
Really? DFO has one. DFO has one. It's one of the biggest games in the world.
So do you think when you hit your fatigue system, I'm gonna looks like I hit my fatigue in L-Sword Dungeon Fighter. I'm gonna go outside and run a marathon and go swimming, play baseball. No, I'm not. I'm gonna go watch some hentai, and I'm gonna go play some Maple Story. Then I'm gonna go play some Final Fantasy 14, and then I'm gonna go wank it while listening to ASMR. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. All right? See that full loop? We went full circle, guys. And then I'm gonna go play some other game. It's not like you're gonna stop playing.
Canaris, I am for small government, and in a small government world, if a game company wants to add a fatigue system, that's their right.
Yeah, they can. Just bad design.
No, I think
it's bad design.
I think it's working. By the way, you know what has the most fatigue systems? Mobile games. You know what makes the most money? Mobile games. So it's not bad design. It's very profitable design. Say what?
No. I went back to the ASMR with my full loop thing.
Oh.
I don't like it. It just look the most popular games today, especially in the Western
mobile
world,
games with fatigue systems.
No, they're the
Bam.
most. Wait.
Got him.
I don't know enough about mobile gaming, but I'm trying to think.
Are you kidding? They all have that shit.
Does FGO have? Maybe. I really played too many mobile. I honestly have not played too many mobile games.
It's way more prolific.
On the PC game front, on the PC MMORPG front, which is Closers and L-Sword are PC games with fatigue systems. They're not. It doesn't work well.
L-Sword is making good money.
World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14.
L-Sword is making a lot of money.
The Elder Scrolls Online. These are, I think, the three most popular like MMORPGs in the Western world. Right. These three games don't use fatigue systems for good reasons. Even Blizzard had
Dungeon Fighter Online uses it, and it makes more money than all the games you just listed. Oops.
Yeah, I know. DFO is the biggest game, but we're talking to the Western market right now. It might work in Korea. It might work in Asia as a monetization tool. It might work over there.
We should copy
it. No, but they've tried it here. It doesn't work. Even Blizzard themselves, when they were releasing World of Warcraft, they did a study with the rest experience. Remember? Well, what was the system they had before rest experience was invented? I think by default you had rest experience, and then after a certain amount of time,
you got exhausted.
Your character got exhausted. You hit a fatigue, right? And at that point, you would gain no experience.
Yes. So no, you had it. So the way it works in WoW now and launch was you rest if you're logged off or sitting in town, and then you get double experience. But the way it was initially made during alpha was you get rested experience was the default. You always get rested experience, right? But after you play for a few hours, after you get a certain amount of experience, you fall down to fatigue experience. We get half experience. Okay, and the players found that frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
So all they did was flip the names, and that was enough to win them over.
So by default, they nerfed all the experience game by 50%. So your default was basically now the fatigue system before, and now you get a bonus for being offline.
Yeah.
But but that's fine. The wording is very important there as well. The perception is important. I don't know. I don't like fatigue because when I was playing, real talk. When I was playing Final Fantasy 14 for the first set of raids, the second set of raids, the last two, the year or so I played. When I was playing the game hardcore, I want to play 8 hours a day. If I'm not playing, if after 4 hours,
Well,
they're telling me
I
like
mean,
I
it's good
can't.
for,
Play.
I want to
Guess
be
what?
I want to be challenger in league.
No, but guess what?
I want to be challenger. Make me challenger.
Good. You can keep playing until you get there. Good for you. Imagine league after
What?
3 games.
And the game wants to cut you off. Who are you to tell it?
Imagine. Look, they're legally allowed to do it. No one's saying they shouldn't be. I think it's bad for
I think it's good
their
for them.
profit. It's bad for
it's not
their.
bad. The most profitable games use the system. And I'll give you another example.
League of Legends doesn't use that system.
I'll give you
doesn't
another.
use that system.
We're talking about
League of Legends makes over $1 billion a year.
I thought we were talking about RPGs. Anyway, look, in real life, if you play football, okay, how long can you play football before you get fatigued? Like 5 hours, 6, whatever. You're gonna get tired. Basketball, you're gonna get tired. How long can you play tag with your friends on
Yes,
gym?
these are physically exhaustive activities.
Or even chess. You get tired from playing chess.
Yes. Okay. How is this related?
So I think there's nothing wrong with a system that.
I would just not play those games. And guess what? You probably wouldn't either.
By the way,
I would play Dota in a heart. I would quit League in a heartbeat if they put that bullshit in the game. I would quit Final Fantasy 14 if I want to play. If I want to play Final Fantasy 14, they try to nickel and dime me for fatigue. I'm just gonna quit playing. I'm gonna go play something else.
Scarcity creates value. Okay,
so to a degree, yes, but not in this implementation.
It does though. It works.
It creates frustration, which is why World of Warcraft got rid of that system before it even came out. Which is why the most successful MMOs in the West don't use the system either. And the games that do use fatigue, by the way,
you're talking about are 15 years old.
Extremely generous as well with their fatigue systems. They basically.
We're going to see more and more of it. True or false?
I don't know.
I think true. It's for mobile gaming. It's showing us that's the way forward.
I don't know. I'm not a fan. I would just quit League in a heartbeat. If I couldn't play, like, because when I was playing League hardcore and I was climbing the ladder, it was not unusual to play 10 games in a row.
And was that good for you? I don't
yeah!
No, it wasn't.
If you're not playing 10 games in a row, you're not serious, all right? You're not serious. You're a filthy casual, all right? Mobile gaming has a mind of its own, all right, for sure. And I don't pretend to understand mobile gaming. I do just know it's wildly profitable. The thing is, I really have not been able to commit myself to playing a mobile game that long. It just hasn't happened yet. I've tried.
You're just a cisgendered, white, privileged male, all right, Mark? Yeah. Normal people, okay, if they play 10 ranked games of a league a day, okay, it's gonna ruin their life, their marriage, their kids, raising their job. There's so many. They're gonna miss their rent payment or mortgage payment. Like, this is not a healthy behavior. And as we talked about earlier with the mental health, if you're playing 10 ranked games a day and you're an average person, that means you got a job, a family, a mortgage or a rent to pay, car loans, all this.
You're not playing every day. Maybe you're playing on the weekends. When you're off work. I know people that work that have jobs that play like.
We don't know if it's affecting them or not.
But they're clearly holding their job and they're doing it on the when they have to go to work, they go to sleep earlier. It just seems like it seems for me very difficult to like play one round of Overwatch. Play one round of this. It just maybe I am a bit of a gaming addict, but when I play Overwatch, I usually play like at least 6-7 games. It just seems kind of pointless to play one game. It's like eating one Oreo. Who does that, guys? Come on, one Oreo, one M&M. There's 2 servings in one of those peanut M&M packages. 2 servings, 2.5 servings. Well, in what world is that 2.5? That's 1 serving. I don't know.
Again, I think it's a supply demand thing. So if the companies decide they can make more money with it, I think they'll do it, and I think that's a trend, especially with the way mobile is going.
Yeah. I can't just eat one Oreo. Me neither. Oreo Slayer can't even eat one Oreo. That man slays Oreos. All right, he slays entire packages. Sorry, Mo, you can't eat an entire sleeve of Oreos. You got fatigued halfway through. No, ain't no way I could be fatigued eating half a sleeve of Oreos. All right.
Remember the good old days, guys, in the arcades where you had to pay per use? Mm-hmm. Do you think that'll make a comeback? So not League, obviously, but the League of the Future, or a game like Overwatch, you got to pay like per round. Like you got to try once a round. You got to put the dollar in, like the microtransaction.
Well, isn't I think was it Chronicles of Lyria tried with their soul system where like after you die you can like pay to like get a new character. I don't know, some weird shit. They were trying to do something like that, but it was over like a long period of time, not per death. I remember when we were kids, we would just get like an entire box of Oreos, an entire box of Chips Ahoy, and just eat the whole thing in front of the computer with like some nice cold milk and play MMORPGs all day. That was like peak happiness for me. What about you, Alta? That's peak happiness. I got an entire box of the blue Chips Ahoy. I got one box of the red ones, the soft, chewy ones. Nice cold glass of milk on a weekend, on a 3-day weekend, just playing nonstop EverQuest or Ultima Online, morning till night. That was peak, boys. That was the peak.
No, that's like throwing your kid in a swamp and saying, "Go play with the slugs." Like it could turn out well, but it
did turn out well.
Sure, but I don't know. Well, that's just debatable. But like if I have a kid and he's sitting on a weekend with a whole box of Chips Ahoy I think it's 4 sleeves, right? 4 rows.
3, yeah,
3 or 4 rows.
3 or 4. I forgot,
Okay, if that's his lunch and he's playing computer games all day or video games, I think that's a failure as a parent. That is not a wholesome diet.
You may not like it, but that's what peak happiness looks like.
Oh, okay.
Go throw a kid in the swamp and play with. What a saying! Throw your kid in the swamp and play with the slugs. Altai says the most random shit sometimes. You have the most random weird ass sayings.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure a lot of us in here grew up in a similar thing, but look, it can go either way. You know, by the way, childhood what's it called? Diabetes, obesity, and diabetes are very high, and I don't know how I'm not. I don't know how I'm not diabetic based on that diet. Like our parents had literally zero supervision over us. Like we just ate junk food, ice cream, cookies every day.
Yeah.
The healthiest thing we ate was the sugary cereals, like Captain Crunch, Fruit Loops. That was like the wholesome, healthy meal of the day. It only got worse from there. Okay, so I'm very thankful, and I never exercise or anything. I don't know how I don't have diabetes.
I remember when we were younger, you would like fill up. You filled up this like teacup, right, with the sugar cubes, because we had the sugar cubes back then, and you just filled the cracks with the tea. Like it was the cup was literally filled with sugar cubes, and you poured the tea into it, so it was like 90% sugar, 10% water, and it was like it wasn't even like liquid at that point. It was like you were drinking like this,
slush.
Slush. It was a slush, and like you would just eat it with a spoon. We had like the worst diet growing up, both of us. And neither of us are like you're a bit overweight on yours. You're a little bit chunkier now, but we're not like chronically overweight. I'm normal weight, and maybe you're a little bit overweight. I'm surprised we're not worse with what we ate growing up. I think maybe we're blessed with some a little bit better on our genes or something. I don't know.
Good, as Trump would say, good genes.
Good genes, boys. Good genes. Good times.
Yeah, but anyway, my point is that is not behavior that I hope to emulate if I have a kid in the future.
If you spawn a kid,
spawn.
I'll tell you. If you had a kid, and he played Dota 2 all day, all right, and he had 2K MMR, and he kept blaming his teammates, would you beat him?
No.
Would you beat some sense into him? Would you beat some skill into him?
I would try.
You say no, Altai, but like you would regularly like punch our friends until they perform better in Dota. Like this was Altai's way of teaching you how to play Dota. If you perform poorly and you died in lane, Altai would just walk up to you behind your computer, because we'd all be playing our bases, punch you on the shoulder as hard as he can. All right, and then you were just scared, like if I fuck up again, he's gonna hit me, and you would perform better. All right, this is Altai's school of hard knocks.
That was Dota Bootcamp, right? MOBA Bootcamp. You are an alumni of MOBA Bootcamp.
Yeah, this was my middle school, a high school experience with our friends coming over. Altai would just beat the shit out of you if you do poorly. Right? No joke.
But hold up. First of all, I was a kid too. Okay.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. You're like 15, 16 as well. And it's like what? It's like you have only 10 CS in 10 minutes.
I would literally patrol and look at their CS count and the time, and like as I walk by, they'd like shiver. You know, like, oh god, my creep kills is not up to snuff.
Altai ran an interesting school, right?
You know. In a way, it worked. I mean, I think the graduates from that school were above average gamers. You know, many went on to play on the professional Rutgers esports team.
Of course.
Yeah.
All right, I think with that we can take it to the post game. We're discussing some fun stories.
Yep. All right, we'll keep going in post game. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for listening.
Thank you for watching, guys.
Take
Good show.
it easy.
Mm-hmm.